Life in the wilderness, life in the wood. Lone wolf howling for the wonder of her good. Trusted companions has she none. Life in the wild, without pack, without bonds. Forage for food days, shelter at night. Roaming and hunting a solitary life. God's strength abundant, she's still swift and sure. She needs nothing else to make her secure. Lone wolf hides her territory now. Green pine bough, echo mountain side. Lone wolf daily farther in and up, she climbs crags toward the easterly sun. Enemies with the rifle to her back. Mankind is so blind to a wolf alone cruel. Chickens tempt her, it's a natural meal one, natural meal one. Lone wolf hides her territory now. Green pine bough, echo mountain side. Lone wolf, howling at the distant moon, piercing God's ear bone. Heard by a distant wolf who was searching for his own. An answer in the starlight, her senses sharp to learn. He sings of his green valley and he asks her to desert her. Solitary travel, be a lone wolf no more. She races toward his voice in the blessed dawning morning, the dawning morn. Lone wolf howl, it's their territory now. Green pine
some of you have seen me before. I come here fairly often, but as of Thursday, I'll be living in New York for a while, so I thought I'd come one more time. I don't know how long I'll stay there, but we'll see. These are all poems I wrote. I have 4 of them here. And the last one will be the newest one. I'll just go through them. The first one's called Going Through Customs. Floating, fizzing, crackling, sleep is not enough on the night of the day of the living. Too many memories leak through the cracks in my door, ringed hands, smell of wasted summers. When the city sky has burned away all the moon and stars, I sought instead the strange drifting euphoria that comes of breathing ash. You in this country have become strangers. I don't feel American. I don't feel white. This treacherous pulse measured by drum and hiss has led to leisurely disasters minor. I have lit 1,000 fires wishing I were anywhere but here. You speak of this place as if it held the wonders of the Orient, and all I see are the ice fields. Late night Radio Holland, Voice of Russia, Turkish coffee in Tivoli Gardens, a journey of 11 million footsteps as the crow flies. If I could build a bridge across the smoking Atlantic, or tread ocean like a Jesus lizard. But for now I remain an eternity from anywhere, east of the sun, west of the moon. This is called Small Epiphanies. 1. Duke. Like waterfalls pulsing in my veins, drops of rain on my eyelids. He coaxes words from his creature, inexpressible if spoken, his languid jazz like some delicious, purple, cool whisper. 2. Siren. The way the quiet stranger behind the coffee shop counter sings to herself in a subtle, sultry way. 3. Pulse. How sugar ants regard a finger or a sparrow tips its head. 4. Night. The clouds before sunset seem something one could swim into like rain above the waves. Radio antennae flashing their silent signals red against the dark, these automated fireflies drifting amidst green suburban space. The cars on the highway must somehow parallel fish in silver river ribbon orange. Sounds of coupling trains fill the entire valley. 5. Hope. A watched sun never rises without a prayer of water. Thank you. This is called Palm Sunday Blues. The clotheslines strung out, singing in the narcotic darkness. The city breathed. No one slept. Even the glass saints stood transfixed. Apostles full of their Last Supper awoke in the garden to watch the parade. Somnambulists marched blind towards the altars of mourning. God and Satan paused in the midst of their fist fight to throw flowers at the feet of Our Lady of the Gin Fizz. And Mary Magdalene lay in the azaleas, trying to read the lines in her hands by the light of her laser halo. This poem, like I say, is the most recent one I've written, and it was written probably after a 6 months period of not writing anything, or at least anything worth reading. And it was for a friend of mine, and we wrote a letter. And she's a photographer who's leaving, or left already at the same time I was preparing to leave. I don't know, and my grandparents have had a horse that they have had for close to 30 years. I think she was over 30, and she finally died. So I kind of took those two things together. And it starts off with 2 quotes. The first from Tori Amos. I don't like Mondays. I want to shoot the whole day down. And then, of course, bullet the blue sky. June and I were never lovers. The end of spring has a smell that will break your heart to the tune of crickets and nightbirds. I am not asking you to fall in love. This poem I'm writing doesn't say the right things, or what's wrong either. It's cold coffee lapses, something at 1:30 morning. Because a poem is never finished. Nothing is finished. You can read me like a book, unwritten. And innocence never stayed anywhere, even in the world of feminine curses. Lightning, when it wishes, leaves a mathematically perfect fractile on the skin, and like a scar it fades. Everything ends up being about human nature. If we love our enemies, there are none. We're a little more than strangers, no less. But these are things you may already know. Spring broke the horse's heart. Left her lying neath the fence. We told her the pain was leaving. We laid our hands upon her, felt her pass through us. The lightning, when it came, brought the smell of night. Small steps begin a bone dance.
A session in our class, and Jack and I were the only ones there. But it came from a book by Molly Ann Lycan, and it's a book called How to Write a Hit Song. And the exercise, right at the top of the page, write Little Red Schoolhouse. And then there are about 20 questions that you could answer. Where did this story take place? Where was the little schoolhouse? What kind of a day was it? What were the children like? What did the teacher look like? And all of that. So after I got about 25 things down, I had the skeleton of Little Ozark Girl. And my friend Marty made the music up and sang it. So it's our song.
Okay, so it's ready. And I'm just I'll mic it a little bit in case it needs to be mic'd. But we need to put an air. See, I didn't want to take out any of the parts.
Well, okay. You think it'll be loud enough to hear without
I
marking?
think so. You can turn it up louder.
Okay, the volume is
There,
right
on that
on the
side.
side, and that says volume. Okay, well, this is kind of unusual, but let's go for it. Okay.
There's something else I could unplug. Well, then we can do the
Well, let's just try it. Let's see if it works.
Is it plugged? Oh, it is.
Well,
You think it's ready?
push the play button.
Oh, well, okay, hang on. Oh. Is it the very beginning? I think it is, isn't it?
Yes.
I push the fast forward.
Oh.
Leave it to a blonde, you know what I mean? Okay. Okay, stop. Okay, pause. Let's push that up.
The mind was so blue, loud and shrill. One blast shook the mountainside. Little Ozark girl grew up too fast on that day when her daddy died. Little Ozark girl on a mountain top, she knew she could not stay. Her heart was set on a better life. How could she ever get away? Little Ozark girl with the tattered dress, you hold your chin up high. Someday you'll be the one to shine like those stars up in the sky. With toeless shoes she walked each day to the one-room school to read. She knew those books, they held the key that would help to set her free. Little Ozark girl with the tattered dress, you hold your chin up high. Someday you'll be the one to shine like those stars up in the sky. Little Ozark girl did fly away on an angel with metal wings. super jet. She reached her dream of bigger things. Little Ozark girl with the tattered dress, you hold your chin up high. Someday you'll be the one to shine like those stars up in the sky. I know that little Ozark girl, I felt her need to be. Don't ever be afraid to dream, 'cause that Ozark girl was me. Little Ozark girl with the tattered dress, you hold your chin up high. Someday you'll be the one to shine like those stars up in the sky. See how she flies.
Company B. He puts the boys to sleep with Boogie every night and wakes him up the same way in the early bright. They clap their hands and stomp their feet because they know how he plays when someone gives him a beat. He really breaks it up when he plays reveille. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. A toot, a toot, a toot to the attitude. He blows an A to the bar. In boogie rhythm, he can't play a note unless a bass and guitar is playing with him. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's a boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B.
I really don't like using books, so I'm just going to cut to the last song that I know by heart. This one is from a musical, I have to move this out of the way, called Jekyll and Hyde, which I don't know if any of you know, but it's wonderful. The song is called Bring on the Men. There was a time, I don't know when, I didn't have much time for men, but that was then, and this is now. I'm learning. A girl alone, all on her own, must try to have a heart of stone. So I try not to make it known my yearning. I try to show I have no need. I really do. I don't succeed. So let's bring on the men and let the fun begin. A little touch of sin. Why wait another minute? Step this way. It's time for us to play. They say we may not pass this way again. So let's waste no more time, bring on the men. They break your heart, they steal your soul, take you apart, yet they somehow make you whole. So what's the game? I suppose a rose by any other name. The perfume and the prick's the same. I like to have a man for breakfast each day. I'm very social and I like it that way. By late mid-morning I need something to munch, so I ask over 2 men for lunch. The men are mad about my afternoon teas. They're quite informal, I just do it to please. Those triple sandwiches are my favorite ones. I'm also very partial to buns. My healthy appetite gets strongest at night. My at-home dinners are my men friends' delight. When I invite the fellas over to dine, they all come early, in bed by 9. So let's bring on the men and let the fun begin. A little touch of sin, why wait another minute? Step this way, it's time They say we may not pass this weekend, so let's waste no more time, bring on the men. They always say, I always knew, that silk and lace in black and red will drive a man right off his head. It's easy. So many men, so little time. I want 'em all. Is that a crime? I don't know why they say that I'm so easy. They make me laugh, they make me cry, they make me sick. So God knows why we say, bring on the men and let the fun begin. A little touch of sin, why wait another minute? Step this way, it's time for us to play. They say we may not pass this weekend, so let's waste no more time. Bring on the men. Thank you.
This is a stretch for me. I'm a nurse by profession and have only been in the songwriters group for a year. And today I was telling my kids that I was coming to this open mic, and they said, "You're singing karaoke?" And I said, "Well, it's not karaoke. You know, I might sing my song because I've sang it to them." And so when I was driving my 15-year-old to soccer practice, he said, "Are you going to sing?" And I said, I don't know. I don't know if I'll have the guts. And he grinned at me the whole rest of the way, so I thought I have to do it because he's going to ask me. So this is a work in progress that needs some work, but it's a start, and it's been fun, and I've been enjoying this group. And it's called If All Our Wishes Would Only Come True. When I was just a child of 7, my ma taught me wishing opportunities. You can make one wish on a pure white horse. First time in a church is good for 3. Over the years, Ma and Pa started fighting. When I was 12, Pa packed and walked out our front door. Days later, I told Ma I'd wish him back to us. Ma cried, "Girl, don't believe that anymore." She said, "If all our wishes would only come true, there'd be no end to all we could do. But if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a mighty fine Christmas." When I was grown with a child of my own, her daddy wished with her on the stars in the sky. They both thought the world was theirs for the taking. I couldn't tell them it was all a lie. Our daughter grew up, packed to go to college. Her daddy said, "I'm not ready to let her go. I wish that she would stay with us forever." Teary-eyed, I replied, "How could you not know?" I said, "If all our wishes would only come true, there'd be no end to all we could do. But if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a mighty fine Christmas. Oh yeah, if ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a mighty fine Christmas."
Yeah.
I attended a cowboy thing up at Hamilton, and so my friends signed my name, put my name on the list, and the lady asked me if I wrote poetry, and I said, "I write poetry, but I've never done a cowboy poem." And she said, "Well, why don't you do it?" And I said, "Okay." And I went up there for 4 years in Hamilton and performed for about 4 years. And so I have about 20 cowboy poems. This one I kind of like because it was such a change in the way cowboys used to be and cowboys are now. It's called Metamorphosis of a Cowboy. A cowboy ain't what he used to be. He traded the stallion for a GMC. Nix the horse blanket spread on the rocks. He won't enroll in the school of hard knocks. A bar night out makes him feel crummy. Straight shots, beer chasers ain't good for the tummy. His biceps are tailored in the new men's club. He wants a massage and a dip in the tub. No holes in his jeans or heel-worn boots. He waltzes around in western cut suits. He dumped the hat with the sweaty band for a flashy felt, a 300 brand. Bacon, eggs, biscuits, and lots of beans. Daily we're drowned with strong caffeine. The new man says, I can't eat that, 'cause thin is in and out with fat. Rhinestone dude's no match for Tom Mix, who lassoed kids with his 10-cent flicks. If you think the copy is really a bore, the original lives in the video store.
Good job.
My cheat sheet. Okay. Let me try this. I want to thank Garth for opening us up and letting us, the Western Montana Songwriters Group, sponsor this, and Kay for coordinating with Garth. It's just been a real treat. And this is, our Western Montana Songwriters Group has been together for probably 3 years. It was known as the Nashville Songwriters Association. And then the person who was coordinating it with Nashville moved to Nashville, and we just decided that we would just name it Western Montana Songwriters Group because we didn't want to be strictly, you know, Nashville country, even though Nashville has been a great support. And so we've been meeting at the library, the public library, on Monday nights, the last Monday of each month from 7 to 9. And any of you are welcome to come and join us. We try to have fun, and we just try to have a good time. And it's like most writing groups get together and they share what they have written, and I think that there's a lot of power in that. Julia Cameron from Artist's Way suggests that, you know, you gather together in clusters and you share what you've written, and it helps. And I believe in that. I'm going to do 3 songs, and I'm going to dedicate this one to Louise Harvey, who is a healer. And I was reading one of Melody Beattie's meditation books. It was called Journey to the Heart, and she talked about a woman, an Osage shaman in Sedona, and I thought that that sounded like a great song. So this is basically what the meditation was about. Could you turn on just a little reverb, please? I met an Osage shaman from Sedona, with raven hair and weather-beaten face. She said she loved the land and its spirit. Then she spoke about an inner sacred place. She smiled as I told her about my journey to discover sacred places across the land. She said, this inner sacred place you won't discover on a mountain high or sun-parched desert sand. The healing in life's magic is inside you. It's not down the road for visitors to see. The sacred place is found deep inside. It's deep inside the soul, the very very inner soul of you and me. The places you are searching for are mirrors, reflecting what you want your mind to see. Make time, look inside, trust, let the power be. The healing in life's magic is inside you. It's not down the road for visitors to see. The sacred place is found deep inside. It's deep inside the soul, the very inner soul of you and me. Be still, listen to the silence. Be still, trust you will find. The healing in life's magic is inside you. It's not down the road for visitors to see. The sacred place is found deep inside. It's deep inside the soul, the very inner soul of you and me. I come from Miles City. I was born and raised in Miles City, the cow capital of the world in eastern Montana, for those of you who don't know where that's from. My grandmother and grandfather were there in the late 1800s. And my grandmother was from Sweden. Her name was Jenny Jansson. And she married Miles Milligan, good Irish name. And they married and they had a family. And that was Howard, my dad Roy, and my Aunt Jean. My Aunt Jean is 93 this year. My dad passed away at the age of 82, 15 years ago. He was old when he had me. And Howard was a young man who went to World War I, and he didn't come home. And my grandmother bought an angel from Italy, and it was made of marble. And she put it out at the cemetery, and it was like a 6-foot angel. And she was a beautiful angel, and she stood there from 1917 until this story was written. Actually, the assignment for our songwriting group was to take something that you had read out of the paper and write a song about it. And I had torn this out of the paper because it was so disturbing and so horrific. And I put it in my folder, and I couldn't write about it for about 3 years. Because one night, 3 kids went out because they were bored on Halloween, and they pushed over this angel and broke her into pieces. And the article in the paper was Fallen Angel. So that's what the title of this song is. In World War I, they lost a son. Their oldest boy, he was a handsome one. They brought him home so he could rest in peace on sacred ground, near family. Grandma bought an angel from Italy, made of the finest marble she'd ever seen. The angel stood guard for over 70 years, watching over our loved ones, a landmark held dear. Late one night several years ago, in the early morning, 3 kids did go. They pushed our angel down just to play around. They broke her into pieces and left her laying on the ground. Fallen angel with broken wings. Fallen angel, who could do such a thing? Kids were caught, it was a sad affair. As they sat in the courtroom, not one parent was there. Now they're in jail and they're all doing time, 'cause one night they were bored, and killing angels is a crime. Fallen angel with broken wings. Fallen angel, who could do such a thing? Come all guardian angels, now hear my prayer. Touch the lives of these kids, give them parents who care. Help these angry kids who've got nothing to do. Fill the hole in their soul. Love is long overdue. Fallen angel with broken wings. Fallen angel, who could do such a thing? Fallen angel with broken wings. Fallen angel, who could do such a thing? You know, I really try to encourage people to write positive things, you know, happy things, but I agree with what Kay said early, you know, tonight, saying that, you know, sometimes you just have to write about what you feel in your heart, and it helps to make you heal. And I felt a lot better after that song came out. And I guess this next song is the healing song too. One of my favorite things to do in my whole life is to fly fish. My folks taught me how to fly fish when I was just a kid, and I love to fish. So when I met my friend Dan, who became my husband, he was a fisherman, and he is just absolutely a beautiful fisherman. On the water, you have never seen anything finer. So he's now my ex. He left and he's now in Texas. Now I've got an ex that lives in Texas. And anyway, he left in November, and here it is, it's September, and it's time for me to just let go, you know, not think about any possible reunion, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I wrote a song and I played it for Laura when she came over the other day, and she said, you know, I think that you ought to write something about, we got to stick some fishing in there, and you read a fish thing tonight, and I absolutely just loved it. But here it is, here's my goodbye song. It was going to be called But I'll Release You Because I'm Ready Now to Let You Go. And then I decided to heck with it, and I'm just going to call it Catch and Release, because any good fisherman knows that catch and release is, you know, the way to go. I'd like to tell you one last time that my love for you has been blind. Yes, it's true, I've been hooked on you, but I'll release you 'cause I'm ready now to let you go. I'd like to thank you for your time. You were the best in delivering your line. I reeled you in. You were my rainbow. But I'll release you 'cause I'm ready now to let you go. Oh wait. You saw it your way and I saw it mine. Whitewater chaos too many times.
I watched you turn and head downstream. We said goodbye to these broken dreams. The river got too wide. You left me on the other side. But I'll release you 'cause I'm ready now to let you go. Catch and release, it's the right thing to do. Never in my life did I mean to hurt you. I'd like to thank you one more time for misty mornings deep in my mind. Valley of the moon, salmon hatches in the month of June. But I'll release you 'cause I'm ready now to let you go. But I'll release you 'cause I'm ready now to let you go. I wish you love 'cause I'm ready now to let you go.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you all so very, 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 very much. I'm just really delighted. This is our very first open mic, and our group has been together for long enough. And I'd like to especially thank all the readers. It was just a real treat to hear every single one of you. And Garth, thanks again for opening your doors to us. All right. Thank you. And I guess good night, everybody.
Jesse, I've never been here before. Well, I've set foot in this bookstore before, but I've never been here for a reading before. I just recently moved to Missoula from Denver, thank God. I'm no longer in Denver. I've lived all over the country, and all I've learned from the cities that I've lived in is that I'm a country boy and I shouldn't try and fight that. I don't know why I keep trying to test that across the country and live in cities, but I have chosen to opt out of the 500,000 plus cities nonetheless. I've filled one of two poems that I actually like a lot, that I wrote. Volumes that go unread, lives untouched, movements once seeming permanent and prevalent now have no one waiting in line for their rides. I wonder why Hunter speaks of Horatio Alger the way he does, but how many Native American poets will I never be given the chance to understand? I've constructed a tent out of my bedsheet. I'm afraid others may see my shop torch and assume I'm an intruder set on robbing a condemned house. The fiasco will be one big misunderstanding, but I'm tired of cops off on one beat, frustrated they were wrong, attempting to save face with a what have we here, so I'm a campfire boy, sans grams. A cracked up cracker boy, eating gives us something to do. It passes the time while we wait for the next high-speed shootout, ecological disaster, and child superstar to emerge. Cops on beats, rhymes on streets, tunnels, tile that never ends. So many experiments that never get beyond their bindings, whose findings may alter the world. Candy-coated, we may swallow the capsule, but not if it is disguised as a wheelbarrow. My teeth aching from talking about influences. I know my arrangements are a drop in the bucket compared to past portraits where you're playing slop. Nobody knows the rules anymore. We are all inevitably second-guessing our own devil's advocate to keep the worlds coming and the words coming, but we do not improve the silence. We merely provide sideline commentary for the talk show documentary violence age that scoffs at places we can never be. Those high-minded are reminded by epitaph rubbings. What will your legacy be? We are hearing voices from the graves, spreading the gospel, allowing regrets to be heard. What is the good word today? Listen closely to the ground. It has secrets to tell of lost lives and fallen soldiers. If we are lucky, we will become museum artifacts. Everyone, after all, is the unborn's history. Waiting to be scoffed at by people who cannot taste death in the air they draw, their breath makes them claw the sky, seeking immortal originality. Who wakes up one day and says to the shaving kit mirror, "Not today, honey, I'm not feeling chipper enough." Friends and findings in the bindings, lives untouched. We scoff, but we're waiting in line. We will be replaced by faster, smarter, more efficient, stronger persons than ourselves who take it for granted that progress equals enlightenment and somewhere another reservation is playing political games by white man's rules just to stay afloat. Always going for the throat, our ancestors were men. They ran barefoot, without guided trails or all conditions gear. They ran because if they didn't, they would be an animal's afterthought. They ran. We saunter, mosey, meander, glide, skip, chirp, chill, bide, play, piss, moan, like, cheese, steal, and beg, but not run. Their races were run on pages, in courtrooms, on the surfaces of celestial magistrates, on fields, in classrooms, in boxcars, in convertibles, in redwood forests, fording rivers, climbing mountains, and raising flags. But to us, they are forgotten hymns, chronological nightmares on exams, and findings and bindings of lives untouched. We are now advanced enough that we can create pictures that seem like 1,000 tiny pictures of ice cream sundaes, and yet if you allow your eyes to fixate, a three-dimensional Statue of Liberty emerges. But oh, what it must have been like to float by it on the first trip to Ellis Island and the land of opportunity. Whitman's barbaric yawp has been replaced by Springer's Manic Crowd's mantra, Go Jerry. Jolt and Joe DiMaggio by Keyshawn Johnson's Just Give Me the Damn Ball. Outer Space by Cyberspace. Typewriters by Palm Pilots. Rubens Hourglass by a heroin-crazed unisex waif look with suitable Armani shades. We are findings and bindings of the unborn's history. We are conversation pieces for our replacements. We, as if there is any unity, save the common desire to be enlightened, to touch, to change lives, to be more than ink on paper and keystrokes for a surfing trend. Oh, if only the people who surfed the net knew what it was like to be rolled in a whitewater behemoth with an entire 23 years passing by in a flash, and to be shot out so tired and wanton of air, you could drink the salt water like it were the nectar of the gods if you thought it would help. The only permanent is change, dressed comfortably and accordingly. Dream of what it must have been like to be hiking through heavy foliage with dust in your face only to stumble upon a gorgeous gorge that would later be recognized by people from all walks of life as the Grand Canyon. Dream about how much Buzz Aldrin wanted Neil Armstrong's bootstraps to be tangled, forcing him to go second. Pass by shelves and tombstones and touch bindings and epitaphs with lids locked as if to say, I wish I knew you when. Dream about times when water didn't have to be bottled, when babies were safe if left unattended in the store for more than 3 seconds, and then wonder how our civilization, seemingly permanent, will crash and be drawn back out to sea, to commingle with the biggest body of water of them all, time and space in the holiest of a face, that looks in on the stories from time to time. Belly up to the brass at the bar and take a moment of silence for all the lost soldiers who never got their reunions and pictures in Life magazine. Think about sports in terms of teams. Wink at yourself in the mirror. It'll make you smile. May just be the trick you need to keep from saying, not today, honey, I don't feel well, and realizing that we are the unborn's history. How long will our equally self-righteous replacements have to wait? We have wiped the slate clean for generations to come that will buy our everyday apparel and a last-minute jaunt to a store for a theme party. They will laugh at our music, but some thoughtful, soulful individuals will saunter up to the bar and put both palms down on the varnish as if to say, I wish I knew you when you cried over the bar. I wish I knew you when you won the game for the Alton County Braves in the Little League Championships. I wish I knew you when you were more than findings and bindings. You were the prevalent lifeblood of the earth, flooding the third planet's waterways with emergence and breath and lovemaking and tradition. I wish I knew them when, so I pass by tombstones and ghost towns and hardbound oversized book racks in an attempt to hear their whispers. It's soothing to know that people still light candles, people still celebrate, mourn, explore, push life to the edge of its envelope and take time to cultivate crops. In a way, it is soothing to know that we are the unborn's history, findings and bindings, waiting in line for replacements, riding waves that will soon rescind their creed, stop breathing, and join the largest sea of them all. That's it.
It's recording just pretty much. Center it more or less.
It's on.
Yeah, it's on. It's already recording. Not the world's longest patchwork. I wrote a song that I wrote at work. I wrote the melody actually about 3 years ago. It just sort of came to me. I started listening to it. And by this gentleman that works in the welding department, and I went Yahe, which is like a buffalo term, it's kind of Polish, it's just a greeting. And he went Yatehe, and I said, well, what's that mean? He says, hello in Cheyenne. I said, oh, cool. Yatehe, 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 hello in Cheyenne, simple greeting from a woman to a man. Yatehe, a flash of eye, jump of the heart, two lives together, soon we'll start. Yate, yate, hello in Cheyenne, the fair young maiden and a warrior brave and strong. Two lives alone soon join together in life's golden song. Yate, 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 yate. Two souls alone now travel as one, together under the sun. Yate, 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 yate. Two paths entwined, now joined by another. Three paths together, I'll do a song that it's called The Road of Dreams. Come home, baby, come on with me. Come home, darling, and you'll see. Find out, darling, what we can be, and we'll ride, we'll ride, we'll ride, we'll ride. The road of dreams. begins. No more scrambling over busted dreams. And we'll go riding, racing with the wind. Her flying as we ride again. And we'll ride, we'll ride, we'll ride, we'll ride. The road of dreams, nothing's what it seems. On the road of dreams, climb on, darling, climb on with me. Climb on, darling, and we'll see. We'll find out, darling, what we can be. And we'll go riding, racing with the wind. Arrow flying as we ride again. We'll ride, we'll ride. The road of dreams, nothing's what it seems. On the road of dreams, nothing's what it seems. On the road of dreams. My last song is a song that I was teaching my son how to play guitar one night, and I usually start in the key of D because it's D, G, and A, very easy key to learn. So he played the D chord, and then he goes, "Dad, how about if I played it like this?" I said, "Yeah, you could do that." So he said, "Would you play that for a while?" And so I said, "Okay." So I started playing it. He wrote the first verse of this song. Here I sit, stare at the reflection. Here I sit, stare at the perception. Here I sit, stare at the reflection. Here I sit, stare at the perception. Here I sit. Here I sit, stare at the reception. Here I sit, stare at the deception. Here I sit, stare at the conception. Here I sit. Here I sit, stuck here in detention. Here I sit, got a deficit attention. Here I sit, not much mental retention. Medical bones of contention. Here I sit. Here I sit, stare at the reflection. Here I sit, stare at the perception. Here I sit, stare at the reflection. Here I sit, stare at the perception. Here I sit. Academic frustration, too much mental masturbation. Academic frustration. Here I sit, stare at the destruction. Here I sit, stare at the construction. Here I sit, stare at the destruction. Here I sit, stare at the eruption. Here I sit. Here I sit, filled with frustration. Here I sit, check the date for karmic expiration. Here I sit. Spain was right. We're all assholes. And Spain was a friend of mine from Buffalo, New York. His name was Emmanuel Rodriguez, and he did cartoons for the East Village Other. And one time when I visited him in the city, we were sitting in 3rd Street, 1st Avenue in this comic book museum, and just sitting there talking and BS. And he said, "You know, when you get right down to it, we're all assholes." So I finally was able to use that in a song, so it was fun. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thanks, Jack. All right. Woohoo!
By the way, our band will be playing at Jay's on Thursday night this week, starting at 10:30. It's called Street Legal. Anybody wants to come down and have a beer?
Thanks, Jack.
Thank you.
Okay, it looks like we're alternating from music to reading. So who would like to volunteer to read next? Okay. All right. And you can tell us a little bit about yourself too, Lynn.
Okay.
That'd be great. And I'll sit here because this is a better view for me.
My name is Kathy Weinberg, and is that better? I've been writing poetry ever since I took classes from Richard Hugo and Tess Gallagher and some of those people. And it's been off and on, and I raised a family, and so I didn't write during that time. And now that they're out of the house, I get a chance to do my own thing. And I'm from Missoula, and but I've spent a few years here and there, different places in the globe. This first poem is called The Friendship Bus. Restless, hungry to roam the rural roads, they find an obsolete school bus in a dirty scrapyard at the skirts of town. The recently wedlocked couple, he of lofty eyes, she of twisted hair, and both of flawlessly arched eyebrows, make a dirt cheap deal on buying the orange-yellow school bus, seats and all. Both being of mingling nature, open to comrades on rainbow rides of calendars racing to tick off the days, they woo their friends to go on tour. The lemon bus fills with friends, 30 of them, all in their 20s. Some casting wry comments as amusement. One of them, the driver, is raw with excitement at manning such an unwieldy vehicle. The bus grabs with its front legs while the rear end swings like a pendulum, shaping a circle as if on ice. Everyone squeals. Raucous laughter follows. The bus revives. Black lines painted on yellow define the day. Roaring like a rhinoceros, the marmalade bus speeds away into the woodsy glen with sparkly streams, sugary green trees. Sooty sparks of dreams puff behind the bus, dreams of excursions made happier by camaraderie, wishes for bubbly babies in new bonnets, visions of more years together. The bus of friendship waits for those who would climb its 3 steps. Oh, thank you. And I'm going to go a little out on a limb and read this English poem.
Would you like this specific?
Oh, yeah. It's so teetery up here.
Would you prefer to stand?
Or one of the smaller chairs?
Yeah.
That be more comfortable?
You get comfortable.
Not everybody's got long legs like Jack.
This is better. Am I too loud?
No.
Mattingly Road. If I am lucid when my smile turns down at the corners, I'll give myself a drink. The corner bar siphons out liquor I can weep through, tepid as milk toast. My ulcer tells me Bloody Marys are bloodier in England. They use real blood and thank the donor very much. Even the high-class Cambridge butcher is mannerly. He hangs his leg of lamb as window dressing for steak and kidney housewives to admire. If the pub on Jesus Lane is holy enough for Jesus College, it's holy enough for me. I pray into my hard cider and remember Montana bars, the one in Bonner, holes in the floor, the night I danced in those lucky cracks of worn green linoleum, danced to country western, loud as a lemon spotlight. You danced with me that clearing night, after the whirling, stomping, that sudden embrace you gave me, like an unplanned spacewalk, tight as an army cot, surrounded me like a safe medieval womb. I checked my bone-white skirt for slippage, uncertain where to turn my gaze, not cozy with country, afraid I preferred jazz, afraid my approaching tears would spill like a secret inlet of delight. Ears pounding with the swell of bass notes as the music started, I counted the dancing ranchers in straw hats who had their best stools waiting, old oak bar stools distressed like coastal trees that no one wanted. The barmaid offers me orange squash concentrate, not cold. My hard cider is old. I can almost hear the bells ringing changes, and I hear the boy sopranos at King's College, their voices high and pure and clear as what I would like to hear when I am dying. I'm due at home on Mattingly Road, and the pub I'm weary of is closing. Do I have time for one more? Sure. Pillar Falls, and we went on a boat trip on the Snake River this summer, and they let us off the boat to when we got to Pillar Falls, and we had 15 minutes to look around. And we were studying Irish poetry, like Seamus Heaney and those poets, and their influence. So that's what I tried to incorporate in this poem. Pillar falls along flat volcanic rocks, each stack sandy and majestic. Once a little fox stood aloft on the highest boulder, bold and trembling, not knowing if he might dive to his death. He jumped gingerly with a long, high yelp. He fell then as he would fall now, his tiny pink parachute opening halfway down with a flutter, flip, flap. An indigo butterfly streaked away when the little fox landed on sandstone, bed of doubt. How many sides each one of us has, and when forced to choose, how much by chance that is. Once a little fox stood aloft, his bottle brush tail red as desert paintbrush. He did not dive to death. He fell then as he would fall now. Pillar falls along flat volcanic rocks, each stack sandy and majestic.
Back together. Okay, take it up on the road. Here.
Minimal maintenance. Okay, you mean you're not a high keeper here? High maintenance? Hi, Kate.
Hi. Recovering songwriter.
Is this part of a 12-step program?
It should be. Yeah, right. Let's hear it for those who have emptying and/or empty nests and are looking for a new lease on life. And that would be me, for sure. Since we're a songwriting group, I just want to pass on my find of the summer, which was to go to see Sheryl Crow at the Gorge, and she was perfect. Everything about her performance was excellent. There were no flaws in what she did, and she made this comment, which is worth passing on, and it's that songwriting should be an endeavor to find a way to say a new thing that you've known all your life. So that's from Sheryl Crow. And now I'm going to play a song, and any resemblance to persons living or dead in this song is purely coincidental. Now, sweaty palms. just get on me, 'cause I'm too blind to see the truth. But don't use me, 'cause I won't be there for you. You think you want someone else, but you don't even know yourself. And I'll wind up back on a shelf, so don't use me. Love doesn't ever come with any guarantees. I'm still the girl who hopes for complete honesty. And no, you're not broke up yet, you're looking for a safety net. I think you're a walking tragedy. And when you're through with her, then please don't come around. 'Cause if you catch me, I'll be the next one that you take down. I know you're not the kind who tries to toe the line. Already I can read the signs of life. But don't use me, I won't be there for you. You say you want someone else, but you don't even know yourself. I'll wind up back on a shelf, so don't use me. No, don't use me. I won't be there for you. You say you want someone else, and you don't even know yourself. You lean back on a shelf, so don't use me.
Yeah.
Well, we were supposed to write happy songs, and I have a hard time writing happy songs. Because part of why I think we do this is to take care of our problems. And I've spent the year trying to learn how to play guitar better. And fingerpicking is something I want to do. On Friday night I saw Jewel, and she was also wonderful. So it was a great concert summer for me. And the man I was with had a pair of binoculars, but he was too anxious to lift up the binoculars and take a close look at Jewel. But that didn't stop me. I had the binos up to my eyes the entire time, and I was studying her hands. And I think perhaps I'm the only person in the crowd who was carefully wondering if Jewel was wearing fake fingernails. The day it dawned, so bright and clear, no hint of shame, no smell of fear. But then you changed like you always do. Where am I when you're no longer you? I read the lines, I turn the page. I point the signs that show the way. The wind and tides, the sun and moon are all revealed compared to you. Is this the eye or the hurricane? First the calm and then the rain. I want to ask you, please don't change again. Missed it. There must be something we can do. I'll stay intact without losing you. Build me up and let me win. You and I will never be just friends. The seeds are planted in the ground. The sun comes out and the leaves turn brown. The greens won't grow like we wanted them to. You're not the only one who ever had the blues. Is this the eye or the hurricane? The blinding sun or the driving rain? I won't live through this again and again, again and again and again and again. See my bottles right over there.
See your bottles.
This is on-the-job training for
Yes.
me. Totally. This aunt has never even been out of the house, so this is to find out that you get up here and you lose all moisture in your mouth. It's a surprise and a learning experience, to say the least. Okay, so. One more swig. This is pure H2O. I'm not scarfing things straight. Yeah. Stage fright. Okay. This explains why I haven't perfected the art of performing in public. How much I love you. You've drawn a circle around my life. Won't put myself above you. You know how to make things right. But every time that I'm in this place, and every time that I see your face, it's getting clear that I need more space. I need some time alone. My love for you is constant, and our only seems to grow. time for you, no time for me. That's how hypnotizing love can be. I need some time alone. Whenever, let me think. Whenever you come, I lost it.
I'll keep going.
Hang
Hang on.
in. Start on the verse before.
Whenever you come around, I can't seem to turn you down. I don't quite regret the time that we spent until I see that there's no time left for me. That's free. So what is the solution? It's like fighting gravity. Can't see a resolution. This pull of yours confuses me. Nothing ever comes between we two. I'm getting nothing done and neither are you. Don't wanna break up but this won't do. I need some time alone.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your patience. Next time I'll be better.
That was fun.
Great job. Now, do you want to stand or sit, or do you need a
I need to take my glasses off so I can see my paper, but not you all. My name is Ryan, and I'm yet another introduced species to the American West, coming from East Tennessee. So Nashville is just a couple hours up the road. So I'm pretty recent. Moved here early this summer. I like to do a lot of traveling, so this first poem is about travel. It's called Winter Road Trip. On my quest to reach the Midwest, I followed the blue veins of interstates spread across the hand of America, as pictured in my tattered atlas. Jackknife semis were laid waste by my side in a snowstorm like the bleached bones of an unfortunate animal half buried in the desert sands. The trees passed at 70 and were full and tipping with ice. They endeavored to retain their poise, but were forced to bow or break, as many did. A few only lost a limb or two. Others were split wide, revealing their hearts and thoughts. I danced with endless cars, stepped over endless lines, and like Kerouac, I read the landscape instead. This one has a little more to do with contemplation as well. It's entitled Looking Man. I saw a man once staring into the sky. He seemed sure about what he was looking at, but he kept staring just the same. I could have asked him a question, but I didn't, and yet he still gave me answers. I could have looked up too, but I didn't. They say only a fool stares at the finger pointing to the sky. This fool is torn between two worlds, the flowered ground and the starry sky. The magnitude of each deserves more than a lifetime to honor, and I only have one life. The man I watched made his choice. Perhaps I can compromise. stars at night and flowers in the day. I know very little of both worlds. At my best, I can only point to what I see. I say the wise look for the stars in the day and flowers by night. I say I live in a world of fools. This one comes from my travels in Sicily. It's entitled Teatro Antico di Taormina. The Greeks played here, below the breast of Mount Etna as she pumped red rock through her veins. I bought my ticket from a man with 2-inch fingers, £2, 7 cents. Players once performed comedies and tragedies for cheered audiences under stone pillars, which no longer stand bright like white teeth of a child smiling when the clown suddenly appears on stage. Now time has worn them away, so all I see is the snaggled grin of an old man, proud of where he's been and what he once was. And the players have vanished like the wild, imaginative dreams of the man and child. The plays have washed back into the sea, and one day might tickle the toes of some unsuspecting person too busy gazing at a soft sunset, startled now by the words clinging to his ankles. The audiences that once filled these granite seats never knew me. I want them to be happy people. I imagine I can hear their laughter still echoing off the broken backdrop. I picture Oedipus standing center stage. Ghosts, all of them. My last one is entitled Visitation. 1. The fish leap at the leaves thinking food. Only fish do not know food. They eat when they are hungry. Yet fish do not have a concept of hunger. If I could be more like the fish, I would be content. 2. The leaves swirl round and round, floating aimlessly at their own pace, yet it is not at their own pace. It is the pace of the river that carries them, and the wind that guides their direction. The leaves do not know where they are going. They only move with the influence of the water, of the wind. And I should not forget the rocks. The leaves pass by rocks too. If I could be more like the leaves, I would be content. 3. I can see the water. It caresses the fish that leap at the leaves, thinking food, and it carries the leaves at their own pace to wherever leaves go when I lose sight of them. In the water, the fish are eating. In the water, the leaves are moving. If I could be more like water, I would be content. I am watching the fish watch the leaves and watching me watch the water. We are watching life. 1.
Hello, my name is Laura Hawkins. I live in Missoula again. My son is a native. And I write songs occasionally and write with other people sometimes, perform occasionally. And I want to start off with one that I co-wrote with a friend called Dennis Hatfield in Dillon when I lived there for a while. You're okay? I want to be with you. Don't ever leave, I want to stay with you. Please let me believe I'll give you everything I can. If you'll be my man. Don't want to stay here. There's no future here without you. Want to show you how I feel about you. I'll give you everything I can. If you'll be my man. Your being here has been the light that finds me. Your being here has been the light that finds me. I wanna be with you. Don't ever leave, I wanna stay with you. say no? Are we here to say goodbye? Let the pain roll by. Here, are we here to say yes? And let our love show the best. And in the dark when doubts appear before me, I'll plant a seed that grows into your love of me. I wanna be with you. Don't ever leave, I wanna stay with you. Please let me believe I'll give you everything I can. You can be my man. In the sunlight, we'll find a place to grow. It's alright. I think that you know at night we'll stand in the spotlight and sing good night. Singing yeah, now here's one that, let's see, Dennis and someone else wrote the initial tune. Where's the capo? Capo.
Here we go.
Oh, here it is. Thanks, Marty. And then I came in on it and collaborated and wrote some more lyrics. Generally, I write lyrics. And I kind of like Pete Seeger's philosophy, who I followed around a lot in New York when I lived there for about 10 years. I went to everything he ever did. And he used to say, just write a song and steal the music. That's all. Just steal it. It works. Works for Pete. Works for me. But this was stolen with in a collaboration. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to do it in a lower key and we'll just do the alto voice.
Can you tune it just a little bit? I think the bar put it out of tune a little bit when we stuck that in there.
It's okay. It's all right. It's called My World. And you can imagine synthesizers that Dennis puts on this, and bass, and he, orchestrated the whole thing, and then had me do like 3-part harmony on it with all his finaglings. But we'll just do it the plain Jane way. My world begins with you. Hold on. My song has to begin with more mic, I think, because it's so low for me. Is that better?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. My world begins with you. Somehow I know it's true. There was a time I only knew you in my dreams. I only knew you in my dreams. Somehow I know it's true. My world begins with you. And when I rise every day, our love is new. My world begins with you. You mean the world to me. That's how I feel. You are the one who makes my life real. You poured the water into this empty sea. You are the one who set me free. There was a time I only knew you in my dreams. I only knew you in my dreams. And as the seasons fall, tumbling in life's breeze, we brave the storm and let it be. And open up the shades to let the light reveal the world that we can help to heal. And when I rise every day, our love is new. My world